Hey everyone, talking about 5 reasons that I don't wear fragrance every day. Not trying to convince anyone else. If you love wearing it every day, great. But also, I don't think people should feel pressure like you're less of a frag head or whatever if you don't want to wear it every single day. So, yeah, just gonna jump right in no particular order. One, sometimes my nose needs a break. Kind of like if you were eating a lot of good food, like it tastes so good at the beginning and whatever, but then at a certain point you're full, or even not using that analogy because that's more of a physical thing. Say, like, you takeout's nice or going out to eat, but then if you went to a restaurant and got takeout every night, that just starts to feel like too much and you appreciate it less kind of than when you have like some exposure in between of that. So for me, my nose is kind of like that with the scent. Like I like to feel like it's a breath of fresh air, not like it's just like always there's a default scent in my face at all times, sort of, in terms of wearable fragrance. Two, I only want to wear fragrance if I'm in the mood for that specific fragrance. So there's times where I might feel like, oh, I'm in the mood to wear something, but there's just not any one thing in my collection that I'm particularly in the mood for. And I'd rather not wear fragrance than just kind of force it. Like, well, I guess I'll put this on. Like, I really want anytime I'm putting on one of my favorite fragrances to feel like it sounds so corny, but like just like a special moment. Like, yes, like I really like this and very connected with that fragrance and not just kind of like, which again, I don't think most people would feel that way, but for me, that is a reason. I only want to put something on if it's really about that fragrance and not just like, I want to wear something, but I'm not really in the mood for anything. Three, if I'm spending time with someone who dislikes fragrance or whatever fragrance I wanted to wear or is super sensitive to fragrance, some people are a lot more sensitive than others. I mean, for me, I get migraines, but fortunately, I don't get them from like all kinds of fragrance, only specific kinds or whatever. But I would not want someone to wear one around me if it was the kind that was going to trigger a fragrance or that I hated or something. So it just that's relatable to me, even just from a personal level, let alone people have all kinds of sensory issues. Some people just really don't like fragrance. Some actually have allergies. So if I know I'm going to be spending time around someone who's like that, then I'm not going to wear fragrance around them, or I'd wear something that's like really, really low projection. Or just like, yeah, if I'm going to be spending a lot of time with my wife or in the car or something, I'm not going to wear one that she dislikes. So if I'm not in the mood to wear a different one than that, then I'd rather just wear nothing. Four, if I'm sampling a lot of fragrances, or even not just a lot, but just like any that day in that moment, I need to be able to smell those without a competing fragrance, especially for review purposes. Like, I don't want to be giving people a review about something that was actually kind of mixed and not really true to that scent because I also was kind of getting a whiff of something else that sort of interacted with it at the same time. So I want to experience when I'm sampling something like that fragrance by itself, no competing scent. Even if you're not, putting your nose to your wrist or your shirt or whatever to smell it, like it's still, as people complain about it, something doesn't have projection like that, it's still just like around you in the air. So it's better for me, and I think that is just pretty generally a good rule if you're going to be sampling a fragrance, to do it at a time that you're not wearing a different fragrance. um, Lastly, if I'm not in the mood for one that goes with that weather, so say it is a hot day out and what I'm really in the mood for is to wear by the fireplace, that's not, and it's not about following some arbitrary rule. It's like, that would just be like, if I'm sweating or it's just too hot out and that scent just becomes so overpowering. Plus, I like having certain ones that I associate with certain weather. And so if I'm just really in the mood for something that doesn't go with that weather, I'm just not going to wear something that day. And yeah, there's other reasons too, I guess. But for me, yeah, it's definitely not every single day. And a big part of that is because I sample so much stuff to review. But the other reasons are all valid for me here as well. And curious if anybody else has thoughts on this who doesn't wear fragrance every day. There's what's known as a dumb reach, is the type of fragrance that you can just kind of reach for at any time and it's easy to throw on. And I do have a few that would kind of work like that, but I still prefer to just like really be in the mood for whatever specific fragrance. So yeah, curious about anybody else's thoughts on that, but no, don't feel like you need to wear fragrance every day to be a good fragrance person or get fragrance cred if you're just not in the mood that day.